गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। वेल, we're going to do something very interesting today. US-Pakistan relations and the new chapter which is opening up. And this is what the cartoon is all about. This is a fantastic cartoon by Manoj Kuril. I've just modified it. You can see, that Pakistan is very happy that happy days are here again, and they're all their news reports are saying hard work always pays off in the bed. It's not in the end, in the bed. And Xi Jinping is very unhappy. And Uncle Sam is, getting ready for his next action. Well, be that as it may, today we're going to do two things. One, we'll talk of the US-Pakistan relationship. When I say Pakistan, it's not Pakistan, it's Pakistan. Pakistan. That's the way Americans say Pakistan. Right. Okay. So we'll discuss that, but that's the later half. The first, we'll take an update on what's happening between Israel and Iran. That's important for us. Right. So first, Iran, Israel, what's happened the day after? We had a great discussion yesterday, but what's happened after that? Right? Iran has fired ballistic missiles that have struck Tel Aviv at about 9 different places. The rest of the things, reports have not yet come in. Okay. And Israel has stepped up its attacks. So it's not all one way, right? Now there's a two-way exchange. To what level it will go? Well, we'll have to see. And for those of you who have probably seen it for the first time and done a shot for the first time, and you're saying, look, this is just an update. The detailed analysis is something which we did yesterday with Brigadier Rumil Dahiya. And this is the, you go to YouTube, you put Iran, Israel, nuke deal or nuke football, and you will get it. And this is the link on YouTube. Okay. Have a look at it. I'll put the link down in the description of this video also. You'll get a detailed analysis which we did yesterday. But that's tomorrow. That was yesterday. What's happening today? Okay. First and foremost, we need to understand Israel still has potent weapon systems. Sorry, Iran. It's not as if Iran doesn't have reach. Okay. It's got this reach which I'm showing here, and it's using it. And it's got a good stockpile of missiles. Remember, Iran has a force which is not based on its air force. It's not based completely on a navy because it doesn't have a great navy. It has some navy, that's it. But it has got a potent missile force or a rocket force, which is using now. The reports coming out are it's fired about 200 odd rockets. 9 have got through. 9 hits is 9 got through, which means there are holes in the defenses of Israel. After all, remember, Houthis also hit Tel Aviv last month. Okay, so it appears that Iran has found a way through to get through the Israeli defenses. Okay, there's also reports that maybe a couple of aircraft of Israel have been shot down. Some F-16, some F-35. We don't know, but it's not completely off. So there is thing. Now, what is the analysis which is coming out? Okay, about what all has happened, what all has Israel done, what has it achieved so far. So let's go into that a bit and to understand where this whole story is going. Look, Natanz was hit yesterday. Natanz is the primary enrichment center. Okay, there has been some damage, some chemical and some radiological contamination has taken place, but it's not serious. Okay. The reports which have come from various places and IEA, I always confuse, International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, yeah, that's it. IAEA says the main centrifuges which are a bit underground have not been pierced, right? So it's not fully off. There's no damage at all in Fodro and Isfahan. right? Uh, yeah, Isfahan, right? Yeah, sorry, Isfahan. Okay, that's Isfahan is the right one. In fact, I've flown over it. So Isfahan and Fordro, they have not been hit. Isfahan is an extensive facility. Fordro is a deep facility, which is nearly a kilometer deep, 800 meters to a kilometer deep. So that's not been hit at all. Okay, and that's where their major nuclear enrichment centers and probably the nuclear stockpile is there. Okay, a bomb grade nuclear fuel is probably within Fordro. That's not been hit. That can't be hit without American deep, bunker busters. The question is, look, even in Isfahan, they could have hit, they could have finished off Natanz, but Israel has not done it. Israel is still, it's not, they're not going hell for leather to destroy everything. Why? Is it because of the radiological issues, contamination issues, or it could trigger something else? Or they've had the experience. Americans have told them, don't do this because this is what the problem we had in Pakistan. So a whole lot of issues have come. So this is not going to be easy. Israel has, to my way of looking at it, so far, what you can make out, has avoided hitting and taking out the complete nuclear stockpiles with wherever they are, because it might itself start something which Israel can't control. In which case, Iran, if it has a bomb, we don't know whether it doesn't have a bomb or not. If the damage to Natanz or Fordro or Isfahan is beyond a threshold, and you're now operating in the gray zone, Iran might let go. Who knows? We don't know, right? So the nuclear dynamics are playing very clearly in this. Don't get carried away by media reports. There is a nuclear dynamic already at work. Thresholds are low, but it's working. Okay. Iran has fired ballistic missiles, which I said. They've struck Tel Aviv, injuring people, all that. But let's see where we stand after this exchange today morning. Iran is very clear it's not going to back down. That we discussed yesterday also. There's no way Iran is going to back down. Okay. It will retaliate with what it has. It's got no option. It's a big country, right? It's a country which is proud of itself. Now there's a Western narrative which is coming out which says, look, civilians are being targeted and all that. But let's be balanced in this. Yesterday, Israel also targeted civilian areas. I mean, it's not that Israel has not targeted civilian areas. And it's only Iran which is targeting civilian areas. So the narratives are going to play. And remember, in the narratives, Iran has got no leg to stand on. It doesn't have any narrative to put out. Okay. Now, my analysis, killing military leaders, killing a few scientists won't take away the fundamental capability of Iran. Sorry, it will not happen. A country can always hide 300, 400 kg of enriched nuclear, uranium, bomb grade uranium. It's a big country, you can't. And my way of looking at it, they've already done it. And they're hiding it somewhere. They will. Okay. It's not going to be easy. It's not easy to defang a nuclear state. Like we all think, oh, nuclear weapons, nikal do, yeah, there'll be something. Now, the question in everybody's mind is, what happens if Iran uses an asymmetric method? Okay, you've done whatever you want to do with Iran. What if Iran gets a backpack bomber to go into USA or go into Israel or wherever? Remember that movie Peacemaker? Have a look at it. So there is still a nuclear dynamic which is playing, and the best nightmare scenario is a backpack nuclear weapon. If you think that can be put together by Iran, I think we are in the wrong business. Okay? It's not easy. It's not easy. Things are critical at this point of time. Extensive bombing, will it, get Iran to be, bombed into submission? I don't think so. Will a regime change happen? In fact, the way I look at it, that's the best bet. The best bet is if USA or if USA or Israel can effect a regime change. If a regime change happens, fine, then things are okay. But otherwise, we are going from a bad to a worse situation. I have no doubt about it. There's a regime change and Iran puts up the flag, that's a different story. And it gets back to the table and all that. The way things are going for the past 48 hours, okay, just 48 hours, not even 48 hours, it's about 36 hours. I don't think Israel or USA have very good options at this point of time. Israel and USA are playing Mutt and Jeff. They're playing Mutt and Jeff, okay? Bad cop, good cop. But they don't have good options. I mean, for that matter, you can't defang a nuclear country. That's what I keep saying. You can't defang Pakistan. You can only defang Pakistan politically. You have to do all this politically. Right. So, where is it? So, USA has to step in militarily. Will USA like to step in? Otherwise, what? You can keep bombing, USA to rubble. Iran to rubble. What will be the outcome? Russia has been bombing Ukraine to rubble. It is already in rubble. Okay. It will come there to the stage now that it is, Russia which is vulnerable. Russia is stuck. Russia can't disengage from Ukraine. Forget what's happened to Ukraine. Ukraine is completely gone. All that. So you can't disengage. So are you getting into that kind of a scenario? That's the point. Okay. 2 early days, but let us see how it goes. This is going to be a non-contact, battle with missiles being thrown at each other. Some covert action. My own view is the time for Israeli covert action is also over. Maybe one odd action more. What they could infiltrate, everything has been done. Beyond this, difficult. Okay. Everyone else is hedging in this. Everyone else is hedging. Whether it is China or Russia or Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has very clearly said, the day Iran has a nuclear weapon, I'll also go nuclear. So you're looking at a completely different dynamic. We'll talk of it. Right. I want to go back to the statement of USA. Look, USA's first statement from the Secretary of State appeared as if this is not my thing, it is Israel. But what Trump came out is very clear. USA is complicit in this war. USA is giving all support to Israel to continue. USA is using Israel as its proxy, and Israel is more than happy to do it. When you see Netanyahu's statements, it appears fine. But on ground, it's going to be difficult. So there has to be a political outreach somewhere. And that political outreach has to lead to regime change. If the Revolutionary Council survives, right, then you're looking at Iran as a nuclear state. If Iran becomes a nuclear state, domino effect, Saudi Arabia will. If that happens, US hold on this area will go. So you're looking at a situation. The situation is there. It's not as if it's happening, but the situation is there that Iran might lose the military battle but win the political battle. If something else happens, because we are still in the thick of it. It's only 36 hours. I'm only looking forward. Okay. And you look at the dynamics here. Now, Iran going down in any manner is going to affect Iraq. It's going to affect the Gulf states. It's going to affect the Central Asian republics. It's going to affect Afghanistan and Pakistan. It's not going to be easy. So you'll change. Look, India has to look at a different dynamic from here on. I'll keep coming up with my own analysis, but we have to start thinking differently, and that is where Pakistan comes in. Now there is a view that Pakistan will not get involved with it. I am sorry, Pakistan will get involved with it. Pakistan will be forced to get involved with it. You remember what happened when Afghanistan crisis started? Pervez Musharraf was just told, partner, you're with us or against us. If you're against us, we'll bomb you back to Stone Ages. Immediately Pervez Musharraf turned turtle and said, My baap, aap aake kar lo jo bhi karna hai. Same thing is happening here with a little bit of a finesse. People say, no, US didn't Op Sindoor. I see a clear connection between what happened in Op Sindoor and what is happening now. And I think US stepped in Op Sindoor with this in mind. Okay. They had to get Pakistan. But we'll come to Pakistan a little later. Yeah. Okay. Now, the Middle East balance is at stake. Complete Middle East balance is at stake. What is the role and status of Qatar after this? Will Qatar emerge? Because in this entire dialogue between USA, Israel, and Iran, the direct dialogue between Iran and Iran and USA, but somewhere in the background, Israel has always been there. Has been through Oman. They've not used Qatar. Qatar has been the normal, go-to transactional point. That's not happened. Okay. These are the balances which are going to go out if something funny happens. What is the future of Yemen? We have not spoken of it. Will Yemen rise or Houthis come in support of Iraq? Oh, sorry, in support of Iran? Will Iran and Houthis put together, close, Strait of Gulf of Hormuz and Bab al Mandeb? In which case, a lot of things will happen. Energy flows will get hit. Will USA do this deliberately to screw China? Because if these two get closed, Chinese oil supply gets hit, China will be in trouble. So there are hidden angles in this whole story. Okay. What about Syrian futures? We don't know. Of course, that Al-Shara fellow he met people, he went to USA, all that. That's a different story. Okay, so the Middle East balance is at stake. There's no doubt. And then you're looking at a new nuclear dynamic. The moment this goes, out of control, right? The worst thing which has happened, you'll have a nuclear thing on our eastern border, or western border, USA, India, Israel, Pakistan, Iran, and China, and add Saudi Arabia also into this. So you're going to have a completely different nuclear dynamic here. And here it's also happening. I must tell you why it's happening. Now, the point is that Trump is forcing everyone to spend, all his partners to spend money for their own defense. So everyone says, look, I have to spend money for my own defense. I don't know whether Trump and USA will come to my aid. They're supposed to give me a nuclear umbrella for defense against China. If he's asking me to spend money, why should I not spend my own money and make my own nuclear umbrella? Why should I depend on others? This dynamic will come. Same dynamic will come and play with Saudi Arabia. Already, Saudi Arabia has said so in as many words. So this new thing is coming, and we need to be aware of it. Right? So, what does India do? India has to really rethink its all priorities, because we are dependent on the Middle East for our oil and fertilizers, energy and fertilizer. Fertilizer will drive your uh, agriculture. We also have the IMEC going. Remember, the IMEC is still on. The IMEC is on between India, UAE, and Saudi. It's not going away anywhere. But beyond that is a question mark again now. You have the INSTC, which goes through Iran. That is Bombay to Chabahar or Bandar Abbas in, right? Yeah, I'll take this off. Say that is Bombay to Iran, or Bandar Abbas is here and Chabahar is here, on Central Asian republics onto Moscow. That's also they're two important corridors. We have important stakes. One corridor goes through Israel, one corridor goes through Iran. So we have to do some real thinking. And if this entire corridors are going to come under a nuclear shadow, then we have to really rethink what we have to do. We have to invest more into defenses or defense industry. But that I'll talk of some other day. Okay. So, yeah. So far, this much of the update. We'll see how it goes, and then we will talk of it. I do hope you people have liked whatever I've spoken. If you have liked, do press the like button, subscribe to Ghana Shot, and join me as a member, because whatever money I get out of the membership is for a good cause. I've been always saying so. Right? Yeah, before I get to Pakistan, what I'd like to say is there's another important development which has taken place, which is going under the radar. Everyone is looking at action. But Germany has come out with a proposal to increase its defense expenditure beyond 2%. Right? Everyone thinks Germany is going down, all that. I agree, but they're investing and they're remilitarizing. Whether they're remilitarizing or they're rearming is a question mark. And that has grave implications. It has opportunities also for India. Germany going the military route from what it is today, from the pacifist to slightly military route, warning bells. And this warning bell, I'm going to decode today. Forget about all these things which will keep happening. We have to look in the future. So I'm asking Ambassador Gurjit Singh. Ambassador Gurjit Singh, he was an ambassador to West Germany. I mean Germany, not West Germany, Germany. So today evening we're going to discuss this. We're going to discuss the German budget. There's a new government in place. What's the budget? What is he planning? How we need to use that. The day Germany comes up, you'll see USA will have to start receding. This is history. Okay. If Germany and Japan starts self-arming themselves or being more dependent on themselves, USA has no role. And that's what Trump is doing. He's doing the world a favor. And you'll see USA's role in global affairs will start diminishing. I'll do this separately, maybe for about 10-15 minutes some other day. But remember, we are in a period of great change. Okay. Now let's get back to Pakistan. There's a new chapter opening up. Let's not have any doubts about it. So what I'll do now is, it might be a little theoretical, but let me take you through the relationship between Pakistan and Pakistan and USA historically. Look, Asim Munir is landing in USA today. 14th that day he'll be landing. On one side there's a protest, on the other side there's a welcome. So you'll see both these playing out from USA, and these are from these are Pakistanis, either they're PTI or against PAO. So you'll see some action emanating from there only. Then of course I'd like to thank Ranjit. 2009. That's his Twitter handle. Who sent this? Asim Munir is a one-star field marshal. And I think he's captured this very nicely. And this is something which I'm going to use later on. And this brings me to the thing that any one of you who want to send me cartoons, I'll be more than happy to use them for my thumbnails. I'll be more than happy to use them during my presentation. Right? I'll give you full credit for it. There's no problem. Just send it to me, and you can put it on Twitter on my handle, either at Ganashot1 or at Palipur Ravishankar. Both I will take them. Okay. That is Palapu R Shankar at Palupu R Shankar. So both are okay, and I'll use them and I'll thank you. Okay, and that's some amount of free advertisement to all of you also. Okay, now let's look at this. I'm going to take you through historically. 1950, their honeymoon period started in 1954 when they signed a mutual defense agreement. How many of us know this? In 1956, USA asked permission for use of, Peshawar Airport. It's not new. In 1960s, there was a pro-American sentiment in West Pakistan, not East Pakistan. And Ayub Khan by then had taken over, and he allowed spy missions to be flown from Peshawar. In fact, Gary Powers, he was shot down over, I think, one of the Central Asian republics, at that time part of USSR. It made a stink. But what went under the radar was it was flown off Pakistan. Okay. 71 to 74, we know what happened. USA was completely against us with Pakistan. Okay. And Pakistan helped Nixon go to China. In fact, they helped Kissinger to go to China, and Pakistan played the midwife between China and USA. But then 76 to 79, that's the time when, Pakistan started its own nuclear journey. And when it came to light, Jimmy Carter, who was the president, put a ban on nuclear weapons. So you see, in this itself, there's a dip. The first dip came 76 to 79. Okay. Now 79 to 88, 9 years, the thing changed. 1 minute. The thing changed because, the Mujahideen had to be made. USSR was in Afghanistan. They had to be kicked out. So Zia came back into action. By 1987, Pakistan was the second largest recipient of aid after Israel. Unknown caller. Didn't have 1 minute. This might be the lockdown. Okay. By 1987, Pakistan became the second largest recipient of aid after Israel. Right. So there was a complete love relationship going on. But by 1990, when people came to know that Pakistan was developing a nuclear weapon, it came under the Pressler Amendment. And sanctions were imposed on Pakistan. And by then, by 1988, 87, 88, the USSR forces, Soviets, had quit Afghanistan. And USA also lost interest. So this is the second time, exactly after a decade when this happened. 1992, that was a time when, the Kashmir insurgency was just starting, militancy was starting, terror and all those were just starting. But at that time, the Punjab was in flames. All that emanated from Pakistan. There was no clear doubt about it. So, at that time, the relations again went down. So this period 91, 92, 93, the relations between Pakistan and USA went down. But 95, Benazir Bhutto went to you know, what shall I say, USA, and she got a lot of gifts, candies from Clinton. Why? Because by then Afghanistan, Taliban, everything was in action, and in fact, Clinton fired some missiles also into Afghanistan at that point of time, and they started needing Pakistan all over, and they started giving money to Pakistan to eradicate militancy. That militancy was actually in Afghanistan, but that is the time when Pakistan was playing footsie. They were supporting the Taliban 1.0 in Afghanistan. Right. Come back to 1988. That was a time when Pakistan detonated the nuclear weapons. 1988. Then tests happened. Immediately they went under sanctions. That was also the time, 98, 99, the time of Kargil. So it went into the bad books of USA. Right? Come 2001, 9/11 took place and Pakistan was back in action. By 2003, US gave 1 billion loan to Pakistan for whatever Pakistan had to do. Right. 2004, George Bush declared Pakistan as a non-NATO ally. And that's a tag which has not come off. It still remains a non-NATO ally. Remember that. Okay. Right. And in 2007, it came out that Pakistan was using whatever money it had got to fight terror, it was using against India. So this up and down keeps going on with Pakistan. Remember that. In 2008, in fact, there was an airstrike on the Chaman border. Okay, in which 11 Pakistani soldiers were killed and a lot of things. And Pakistan extracted money out of USA for that. By 2009, it was clear that money which was meant for Afghanistan was being diverted against India. And 2011, Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan. Again, it went into a tailspin. And they had a very uneasy relationship till 2021 when US withdrawal from Afghanistan took place. After that, again, 2021 onwards, USA started disregarding Pakistan. But now they're back. So you see this relationship, it's got a history, up and down. So now we're going on the up. So we have to understand this. I put it in very simple format. I put the slides big, so you can read it in detail. There's no problem. There are issues of nuclear concerns between Pakistan and the USA. The US withdrawal from Afghanistan was not appreciated. We know that in USA, but they've forgotten it now because things have changed. Right? The Pakistan's position post this withdrawal, we all know. Break the chains of slavery and shackles of slavery and all those remarks. And how Pakistan, disregarded, started saying, oh, this is another defeat of USA. USA has forgotten that. They're going back there. Okay. Then USA is very cognizant of Pakistan's. All this happened after 21. From 21 to now, there's a deepening strategic alignment with China. And at the same time, there's a US-India convergence. All this has vanished overnight. War on terror, counter-terrorism efforts, and peace building in Afghanistan. These were the lines which Pakistan was selling to the whole world. But no, there were no takers. But suddenly it has found favor. So we have to see why. We have to understand this relationship, where it will go. And I've been saying this. Let me put it very. How do I say comprehensive manner? I wouldn't say comprehensive. Let me spin it out. USA is worried about CPC. and China's expanding influence in Pakistan. Let's not have any doubt. I have interacted with the US people. They are worried. They don't want China to occupy Pakistan, which it has already done to a large extent. They have to regain that. And as we go along, Pakistan is going to be the battleground between China and USA. And incidentally, this is not something I'm telling now. If you go to Dhanashot and put battleground, you will see this video which I did last year. I think I did with either General Hasnain or someone. It was on the cards. Plus the fact that Balochistan, there's a lot of minerals which have come. And for the mineral exploitation, World Bank is funding money to Pakistan. And if World Bank is funding money, USA is behind it. If USA is behind it, China will be kept out. So that's at Rikodik. At Sandak, which is just next door in Balochistan, all these are in the Chagai Hill area. China has its foot already. So there's going to be a competition there. And all this is happening where? In Balochistan, which is already restive. There's a freedom fight struggle going on. So you're going to see problems here. It's not going to be easy. Okay. Then, as things go, everyone says, Pakistan will get J5s and some AWACS and, HQ-19 and all that. You think America will allow it now? You think Pakistan will think of it? Look, there's another angle which is emerging. In this Israel-Iran war, how much Chinese equipment does Iran have? How has it functioned? Someone has to do. I will do that. And then see how have Chinese equipment performed in Iran, and in Pakistan, and then a picture will emerge. Forget me. Pakistan will do this analysis. So will they take anything from China? Now, if they take anything from China, will China give it to them, knowing that USA is back? Will USA give their equipment to Pakistan, knowing that China is there? So if you think the latest equipment is coming into Pakistan, I think we need to rethink. It is not just a matter of giving free dose and all that. And USA definitely, internally, Trump will have problems to give anything new to Pakistan. Any military assistance to Pakistan. And there are already questions in China. So this is going to be a tussle. The way I look at it, it's good for me. It's good for you, India, if this happens. Because we can't get into Pakistan and control Pakistan. But if China and USA start fighting over Pakistan, it suits me. So it's not bad if USA sets its foot back in Pakistan. We have to manage a different relationship and different thing. The outflow of this is we should be very clear that going into Pakistan with a military option is receding. So you have to think of other options. You have to think of gray zone. You have to think of hybrid. You have to think of cyber, whatever. Let's think differently while retaining your military options. And Pakistan also won't recover, because one day we'll look at Pakistan's economy. Where is Pakistan's economy is going? Everything will depend on that. And I'm very sure USA and China both will be very clear that, especially USA will be very clear not to arm Pakistan beyond a point. Right? The dynamics for that are different, but I will talk of it. Bitcoin. Trump was into crypto even before became a president. The Trump family as a whole. Now they found Pakistan who's prepared. That's a risky business. Everyone whom I've spoken to says that's a risky business. Okay. Now Pakistan has bit into it as a shortcut to money. Will it sustain? And that will be at the detriment of CPEC. Will China allow it to go forward? So issues are coming out. What about Iran and Afghanistan? USA will use Pakistan. It will use Pakistan against Iran and Afghanistan. It's a given. Okay, they might not use it to attack Iran, but to monitor Iran, definitely. To monitor Afghanistan, definitely. They are also setting foot in Afghanistan. This situation with Iran is not going to run away in a hurry. It's a new situation altogether, in which case it pits Pakistan against Iran. So Pakistan will be left with unstable borders on all sides. And Afghanistan is definitely not happy with Pakistan. So we have to, there's a new dynamic emerging. Alive, be alive. And willy-nilly USA is forcing Pakistan to help Israel. Now, as this analysis goes, there's going to be a backlash somewhere in Pakistan. Don't think Asim Munir is being called to USA and for that Army Day parade for giving him chocolates. This is a different approach. Parvez Musharraf was told, partner, you do this or we'll bomb you back to, Philistines. But these people are now being given the other way, the silk treatment, or whichever. Because the issue is more complicated. At that time, China was not so invested in Pakistan 20 years back. Now it is. Now, this brings into question the US relationship with India. We'll examine it. We have to examine it. It's a new equation. And instability in the backyard. Whose backyard? Pakistan's backyard, not our backyard. Our instability will be a different order. So our equation with USA has to be very clear now. Very transactional and clear. You tell them anything happens in Kashmir, all bets are off. They did what they did, so we had to do. Okay, let's understand that also. Look, there's a pro quid quo going on between USA and India. We have to understand that. USA feels that we didn't help them in the Russia-Ukraine war. And hence they are now supporting Pakistan. It's we took a neutral stand. They're not happy about it. They're not happy about our, participation in SCO and BRICS. It could be very useful to them, but they're refusing to see it. And we shouldn't get drawn into it, because the moment you pull out of SCO or BRICS, then China will take it over and China will be at our doorstep. You have to keep China engaged. You have to be there as a spoiler for yourself. They've given you Bangladesh. Bangladesh, they've created a problem. We have to understand the new dynamic which is coming. We have also not acknowledged Trump's effort. He's daily saying, oh, I got peace between India and Pakistan. We said, go to hell here. You have not done anything about it. So there is a new dynamic emerging. The new dynamic places limitations on the strategic partnership. If you think you will get technology from USA, you're mistaken. Will not get. Let's be very clear, will not get. So where do you get technology from? Do you go to France? That's why Germany. That's why in the evening when I'll talk of Germany, we'll see we have to restart thinking of anything else. Yeah, cooperation with China will go along, against China will go along. But we have to define to ourselves how far we can go against China. How far will USA come against China with us? We have no issue. Don't think just because USA is this thing, whatever's happening with USA, you run into a rough patch. That's okay. Doesn't mean we start aligning with China. That's out of equation. This RIC and all is out of equation. Right? Because Russia itself is getting out of China's, grip. There's a report which has come out which says, and the report is Russian report, which says that China is their enemy. Number one. So the world today is adrift. Great powers are adrift. There's a problem within NATO. European powers are not happy with the USA. USA is not happy with the East Asian powers. NATO wants to enter China. China is in its own doldrums. Russia has got its own problems. Right? There is a diffusion. So, how do you navigate this diffusion? We have to understand others. If there's a resurgence in Europe, we have to be on board there. Okay. Or trade with the USA, we'll do what we have to do. We shouldn't do anything. We shouldn't give any concession to USA. Why should we? We'll deal with it as it goes. We have to be very clear with what they're doing. We have to be transactional. All these cultural links and all can continue. Those cultural links will sustain the relationship from breaking. Okay. Good thing they gave us Headley, but Pannu still hangs around and spews nonsense. Khalistan also. So all these issues are at stake. We have to understand. That's why I brought that story of the US-Pakistan relationship into equation. Please understand, the US-Pakistan relationship is very deep. It's been going on for a long time. Ups and downs. Every decade, there'll be one up and one down. Today, it is an up. Will it continue? Because Pakistan internally is got a problem. And I'll talk of it. I'll talk of it one of these days. We'll examine Pakistan, where Pakistan is going, especially with this, their budget. Incidentally, every officer in Pakistan has been given a 50% increment in pay. This is there in Dawn. And every soldier has got a 20% increase in pay. From where will they fund it? So that's a different dynamic. We'll talk of this separately. Right? So this is what broadly I had to talk of US-Pakistan relationship, updates, everything. I do hope you like this.